home of your Moore Park Raiders sports. I'm Justin Borsis, your play-by-play commentator for this evening, alongside Ryan Ketchum, your color commentator for today's affair, where the Moore Park Raiders will be playing host to the Oxnard Condors. Moore Park coming in with a record of 24-1, and Oxnard coming in with a record of 7-13. And Ryan, what are we going to look for tonight in terms of this high-scoring affair that we assume will be played today?
And one of the reasons why we're assuming it's going to be a high-scoring game is just from the pass that we've seen out of Moore Park College, but also the stats. I mean, Moore Park College is one of the most efficient teams in California. Number 4 in three-point percentage, number 2 in field goal percentage, number 1 in free throw percentage, and number 1 in assists. So they're top 5 in every single percentage that you could have while shooting. So this team is just on a whole new level. Also with Oxnard College, they have not had a great season, only 1-6 conference play, while Moore Park College has been 7-0. One of the players to watch out for, though, is Robin Prince. Robin Prince, number 14. This is one of the players to watch. 16.7 points per game and is averaging 15.7 rebounds per game. So just amazing statistics out of her. It's going to be interesting to see what the team can do around her, however.
Now, Moore Park has won 16 in a row, and again, 24-1 record. They just clinched their second straight conference championship. And Ryan, if Oxnard is going to be able to pull off what many of us consider to be an upset today, how are they going to have to rely on Prince and maybe some other to get done?
So the biggest thing is going to be defense. One of the ways that Moore Park gets you on their offensive side is they pass the ball a lot, but it's not just passing the basketball, it's they're dribbling down inside the key with Brianna Calhoun, with Jasmine Crosco, one of the guards, Isabel Ayala, and then they're dishing out of the three-point line. Wow, they just double-team the paint. So what you have is now you have one person wide open. So after they kick it out of the three-point line, suddenly a defender is there. But now they dish it around the wing, and by the time they get to the fourth player, there's a wide-open three-point shot. It's that type of passing. It's the passing that you see that's broken down in all these sports shows where they get in the paint and they kick it out, and they're very unselfish. They'll find the open player. So what you need to do is you need to probably maybe even go in a zone defense, I would suggest, because you need to make sure that they're not able to hurt you with their passing game. And I mean, it's going to be difficult to see if Oxnard's able to pull it off. Only one team is able to when Moore Park actually got 6 assists in their only loss. So it's going to be interesting to see what Oxnard's able to do, but they need to put bodies on those three-point shooters.
Now, in terms of Moore Park, they don't want this to be a trap game, a sleeper game, considering they're, again, coming off 16 straight wins. They've really, in all honesty, been blowing out their opponents. How do they come up with their best effort to go into a postseason run, given that this is the last game of the season?
I think this game, yeah, as you mentioned, the last game of the regular season is going to be sophomore night. What you're going to see them do is they're just going to play the same style of game. They're going to pass the ball. They're going to attack. They're going to get a lot of the players that haven't had too much playing time involved in the game, and it should be a good one out of Moore Park if they're able to play the same way offensively. But watch out for three-point shooters, and they're always getting wide-open shots. That's why they're so efficient.
It is sophomore night, ladies and gentlemen, so there will be some extra special festivities here at this pregame and maybe postgame ceremony. So stay tuned for that as well, as we see both of the huddles being assessed here. We are getting ready for the national anthem, and they will recognize the sophomores before we start this game. So Ryan, when we look at the sophomores, there's a few on the Moore Park Raiders squad that will be honored. Can we talk a little bit more about them as well?
I mean, some of the best players on the team, Jasmine Carrasco, Brianna Calhoun, they are both sophomores. Isabel Ayala, you got Van Buren as well as McClellan, Kaylee McClellan. She's one of the sophomores. That's actually going to be the starting five tonight. So all starting five is going to be sophomores, and it's going to be great to see that. Kaylee maybe not getting as much playing time as the other four sophomores. Going to be cool to be able to see what they can do. But Jasmine Carrasco, Brianna Calhoun, they're going to be two players to watch out for. And on sophomore night, I mean, if they're going to have a big night, it's going to be right here, right before playoffs.
And Kenny Plummer, traditionally a coach that goes more with a guard-style play. So as you say, Kaylee may not be getting the playing time, but certainly getting the recognition she deserves here tonight. So as we see all of these players being honored and we look at the way things are going to go down, we're going to come back with more of our coverage and introduce the national anthem coming up in a few moments. Stay with us, everybody. But as we continue, all the parents are currently on the court for these sophomores, as well as many of the relatives for for these players, and it's a very special moment, as for many of these players it will be the last time they play on this court. They may still be here for their academic careers, depending on how many units they've taken or may need to continue to take, but in terms of their athletic careers, this could be the last game they play here before transferring to a four-year university. And as far as I recall, Jasmine Carrasco also recently honored due to her academic excellence with a 3.9 GPA. So we can also talk about the fact that this college is one of the top in terms of academic excellence amongst the athletes as well.
Yes, usually, at least here at Moore Park College, you see even the football team, all the basketball teams. I mean, teams that you see out here, they're usually just able to have academic success as well as athletic success. But going back to your point about sophomore night, if you're unfamiliar with sophomore night because unfamiliar with the junior college game, it's basically like senior night here for the high school. So, you know, senior night, it's your last game playing at home. That's basically what's happening here for sophomore night. And it is a little bit of a bittersweet moment because junior college, there's such a grind at junior college. That's why everybody knows the JUCO grind is what they call it. And when you're in junior college sports, you may be overlooked. You may not have any offers, so this may literally be some of the last games that some of these girls are playing out here. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do, but they're going to definitely want to put on a show. Brianna Calhoun making it in the 1,000-point club is just going to be great to be able to see what they could do. Also for Oxnard as well with Robin, it's going to be interesting to see if she is able to carry her team to a victory, because if you beat Moore Park College, it was like Ventura College basically for the past 27 years before last year. If you beat Ventura, you were a top dog. You were one of those best teams. That's the same way that Moore Park's being treated nowadays.
So, and the women's team will be gearing up for a postseason run. Given their record, it is obvious that they are going to make a playoff push. So what do they need to do to stay focused, even with the festivities tonight, to continue that push into the postseason?
I think one of the great things was getting Kenny Plummer to coach here, because Kenny, he played Division I basketball at Montana State University of Bozeman. He was on one of the best teams in Moore Park College men's basketball history, so he has experience in playoffs and in big moments, and it's just something that he knows how to do, and he gets his team together. With Brianna Calhoun, a bounce back from Division I San Jose State University, and also with Jasmine Carrasco, since they've already been to this point, I think they're going to be mentally prepared. They just need to make sure they play the same style of game. I don't think the mental aspects will get in their head, but it's just if they're able to still find their players, if they're still able to drive into the hole and be able to kick it out for those wide open three-point shooters, if they're still able to just focus on it's just a game and they just need to knock down some shots.
Nearing the end of games, despite the scoring margin for this Raiders team, they have been a bit more sloppy with the ball near the end of games, sort of losing focus, being up as much as they are. They play a little bit more loose and free. So how does Coach Plummer sort of rein that in to continue that focus as they move forward?
That's one of the things of you just need to be able to play to the final whistle. You may be up by a lot, it may be playoffs coming around, but you need to be humble and you need to stay in your same position. You need to make sure that nothing else can be able to get in your way. They need to treat this game, even the dead time, let's say Moore Park is up by a large margin that we've seen many times this year. If they are, they need to treat it not like a practice time, how if you're not making it to the playoffs, they need to treat it as if it's more practice to be able to go towards the playoffs. They need to be able to treat it as a playoff moment. They need to have playoff intensity. They need to be ruthless. Same with Oxnard as well, but they need to be ruthless and just score as much as possible and be able to guard up as well as possible on defense. They need to be able to play with that high intensity throughout the whole game, and I think Kenny, the way that he's coached, I think he could be able to get his team to be able to do that and be able to just kind of stay humble about their record, because having a 24-1 overall record, #1 in the state of California, that can get to your head sometimes.
And Coach Plummer also recently honored as a member of the 2000-2001 Men's Final Four team here during the grand reopening of the Moore Park Raider Gym, an $18 million renovation complete with new locker rooms and training facilities. How do you think that has given the Raiders a leg up in terms of their preparation for their sporting events this year?
Having a big crowd out at a game pumps you up. Having a new stadium, I mean, that's even upping up the next level. A new weight room, a new locker room. It just gives you a little bit more pride for your college, and knowing that your college is also supporting you, because, I mean, this gym, this is for the athletes. This is for the fans. So they're supporting Moore Park College athletics by building this. I mean, at least renovating it, I should say, for the Raiders Sports Pavilion. So there's a lot of pride that goes into it. And you also want to be one of the first teams to be able to open this up with a championship. I mean, it was like Staples Staples Center when the Los Angeles Lakers came in there. They won the first 3 championships in the first 3 seasons. Then the Sparks also won the first championship in the first season there. So it's almost like that sense where you want to be that team that opens up this new reimagined gym and be able to just start off on a good note. And so far the Raiders have been doing that on the women's basketball side.
So right now we are looking at basically the entire collection of sophomores as well as a couple of alums, I believe I saw, on the court taking a quick team picture as with their families, as the families are now vacating the court, and obviously a lot of pride to be had here as we get set for this one. Again, there's still a game to be played as we now will move to the national anthem, and we will be right back with more of your coverage. And we are back as we get set for tip-off. Important note for this contest, for the women's basketball games here and at the college ranks, they are 10-minute quarters as opposed to 20-minute halves. So Ryan, how does that change the pace of play when we look at the differences between those two games, men's and women's?
Yeah, with the quarters, I mean, it kind of speeds it up a little bit as well. There's less fouls, but it's going to be interesting how these women are able to go into this game and be able to succeed.
So as we continue here, they've started to discuss the starting lineups. The officials are waiting at the scorers table on the other end. And we will be back in just a minute with more. And we are back as they are introducing the starting lineups of this one. Again, the starters are all sophomores today. So they will all be introduced and take the court.
Yeah, the starters we got out of Moore Park College. We have Isabel Ayala. She's a sophomore, 5'5", out of Wainimi High School. Brent Van Buren, who is a sophomore out of St. Bonaventure High. We got Jazzy Carrasco out of Ventura High. Brianna Calhoun out of Alamany High. And Kaylee McClellan, out of Colfax High School. She's going to be going, and she's going to be one of the sophomore starters. And as we were mentioning, it's going to be a whole slate of sophomore starters, so it's going to be great to be able to see all of them. McClanahan, we haven't seen her too often. She's going to be one of the centers for the team.
And as we look at these lineups, as I see here, a lot smaller lineup for Oxnard as opposed to the Raiders. As both teams are going to take the court now, and we are getting set for tip. More of a guard-centered lineup for both squads here. A McClenahan, the center. Going to control the tip. Goes to Ayala, and here we go. Final game of the regular season. Inside, Van Buren for two. And that'll open things up. 2-0 early, 9:15 to go in the first.
Yeah, Britt Van Buren just under 16 points per game. She also has just over 11 rebounds per game. A double-double machine for the Raiders.
Quick pace. Oxnard tries to put one up, can't get it to go. Offensive board. Kick out. They're going to reset.
You're seeing
the
Ox.
other way. And Calhoun tried to go for the steal, and it is off of Oxnard, so we'll go the other way.
You see Oxnard taking a little bit of a Kong-style approach to the offense, just trying to work it around the wing. Weren't able to get any success. You don't see Moorpark averaging too many rebounds per game, but the steals are up there.
Looking for Ayala in the paint. Can't get it there, can't Calhoun. It'll be an early turnover for the Raiders. 9:17 in the first quarter, 2-0 our score. Looking for an inbound, tough pass, stolen away. Calhoun's got another one. That's 2 early steals for her. Over to Ayala, she puts up a jumper, a little strong, rebound, Oxnard. Simon Bishop with the ball.
Calhoun averaging 5.5 steals per game. Is very effective on the defensive side of the court.
Looking for a foul, gets a late whistle. Stephen will be in the act of shooting, and whether the Condors will go to the line for 2, and they will. Shooting the free throws will be OC Aranda for Oxnard.
Aranda at the line for 2 shots.
Sinks the first as it rolls around and down. 2-1 our score. 8:56 to go. Second one is a little strong. Here, and we'll give to Carrasco. Almost a 2-point guard system for the Raiders as Calhoun and Carrasco can both play that position. Calhoun inside, looking for a little floater, a little strong. McClenahan the board. Doesn't get the first try, but the second one goes down. 4-1 our score.
A good job by McClenahan staying with it. That's what you want to see out of your center, just going back up for the rebound and staying strong with it. Going up strong is exactly what she did off the glass.
Inside hook, a little strong. Rebound Raiders. Van Buren again. Carrasco pushes like a cheetah up the court. There goes Calhoun. She tries to feed McClenahan. Ayala, the floater is good.
I mean, we were talking about this team being, as Isabel Ayala gets called for a foul as she reached in, but we were talking about this team being very unselfish. If you're McClenahan, you need to be able to go up with that little layup right there. You don't need to pass it Ayala, but that's kind of what we saw. A lot of unselfishness by this team.
Small lineup as the 5'2" guard. Alyssa Aranda takes it up the court. Give to Bishop. Trying to slow things down. Active hands by Carrasco. She gets the steal. Outlet to Calhoun. She's up the court. Give to Van Buren for 2. 8-1 run early with 7:48 and a quick timeout by the Condors.
As we were mentioning in the pregame show, #1 in assists per game in the country. Just over 21 assists per game for the Moorpark Raiders, and you're seeing that on full slate tonight already. This team is just dishing the ball all over the court, and they're finding the open person. But that's what I meant. When they're driving in and they're kicking out, or they're just drawing the defense towards them with the person that's going towards the paint, what you're seeing a lot is Oxnard is not getting to that player. They're double teaming the person in the paint, and now there's 4 people that one of them are going to be wide open. That's what you see this entire game. If you're Oxnard, you got to try to just do man-to-man, just one person staying on the driver, and then if you need to, go into a zone, but it's not going to work if you keep double teaming the person going to the paint. They're going to do this every single time.
The Raiders coming off a victory at Santa Barbara on Wednesday, 103-58. As the Condors take it up the court, that is Robin Prince, the forward who is the star player that we discussed earlier in the pregame. Fake a 3, inside, trying to go through the zone. Can they get it? No. Great D by McClenahan. Tries to get it to Calhoun. She recovers and retrieves. Over to Van Buren, the little soft touch, 2 more. And it appears the Condors a bit shell-shocked to start this one.
And one of the great things about this Raiders offense is not just when they're in the half-court set, when they're in this set, when they steal the basketball, which is so often they're able to score off of turnovers so effortlessly because they know how to run their lanes. Van Buren ran her lane perfectly, and Calhoun was able to find her.
Quick jumper, way too strong by Diamond Bishop there. Up the court again to Van Buren, try to feed inside. A quick turnover, a little too fast. Raiders got to be careful there. Instead, Oxnard tries to push now. Doesn't have numbers. Quick step back three. Hello, and there's a big bucket there by Natalie Maldonado. 10-4 our score, 6:37, as another quick basket is good. That's Ayala. Two more, 12-4. Fast-paced start to this. Both teams are trying to catch their breath now as Oxnard will slow it down.
Robin Prince, once again, 16.7 points per game.
Foul, count it. Big bucket there by Prince, the star player for these Condors.
And right on cue, as we were talking about her, 15.7 rebounds per game, just great player on this team. And she's showing you why she's able to get so many points per game. She's able to drive it against a slower opponent or one that doesn't have as good lateral movement and able to get a shot to knock down.
She basically had the bigger body over Calhoun and took her to the ground there for the foul. 12-7 off the three-point play is good. 3 team fouls for the Raiders, none for the Condors yet. That could be a big roll heading into the rest of this half. Carrasco looks to drive. She'll put up and get swatted away by Prince. Active hands.
But a beautiful move by Carrasco. I saw that from a mile away. I mean, that could just be basketball experience. But when a screen is coming, if the defender's cheating on the screen and going towards that person that's setting you the pick, then you just go the opposite direction. That's what Carrasco did. Just great vision by her.
Quick jumper by McClenahan, a little strong. Active hands the other way. It gets tipped around and off of the Raiders and will move to the Condors. 5:56 in the first quarter here. 17 fouls for the bonus, just to be clear here. 12-7 our score. As Prince will now man the point.
One thing I'm liking out of the Moore Park defense is going in a press defense as well.
Now Oxnard coming in with a much smaller lineup, able to get the offensive board. The kick out, driving, knifing, putting it up for 2 more. That's Natalie Maldonado again. 5'1" guard out of Oxnard, Santa Clara High School.
And when you're McClenahan, you got to make sure that you're able to move your feet off of it, but you got to hedge a little bit. You can't just go directly towards the closeout. You need to be able to use your size to your advantage.
Isabel puts up 2 more, 14-9 our score. And this one is not slowing down one bit. Oh, plug the lane, and hello, Carrasco, the outlet pass. Calhoun, the beautiful finger roll for 2 more. 16-9. And that stifling D playing a role.
That's why you do not get accustomed to passing when you're in the air. You don't jump and pass, because when you're driving down the lane, I mean, Carrasco, she saw it all the way through. Right when she elevated, pass it directly to her. You cannot be able to be in the air and pass the ball. If you're in the air, you got to shoot.
3 there is a little strong. Calhoun went for the board, and it went out of bounds. Ryan, what is the advantage? We talked about the size of the Raiders, but what is the advantage of having a smaller lineup if you're Oxnard?
Usually for a smaller lineup, you're doing it for shooting ability and you're also doing it for speed, but right now it's not looking like it's working for Oxnard, at least at the moment, because even the tall players from Moore Park have the speed and the hands, and you just see it right there.
Again the hands, and now to Calhoun, 2 more. And it's a 2-man wrecking crew right now. 18-9 our score, 4:22 in the quarter.
And see that press defense? That was a double dribble.
Double
that press
dribble.
defense right there that you're seeing. Brianna Calhoun is always getting the inbounder, and the Carrasco is always getting the first pass. And as you've seen this entire time, the pressure is just getting to Oxnard right now with actually getting with the press defense, making sure that they get on the ball right away.
And that turnover was affected by Carrasco's active hands again. Van Buren's got it now. Over to Calhoun. She's going to play her way through the lane and get another bucket. 20-9. 7-0 run. Looking for a foul and gets one. Takes the bigger body. Alyssa Aranda will go to the line for 2.
One of the things that you see out of Brianna Calhoun, why she's one of the best players in California here for community college basketball, is the effortlessness when she's driving in the hole. It's like she's almost floating on clouds, it seems like, while she's Euro stepping and stepping around defenders. It's just incredible, and the soft touch that she has as well.
And one thing I've seen with the games we've covered, Rye, is the fact that last year, what I recall is Moorpark was definitely a three-point shooting team, as Aranda makes the first 20-10 our score. And this year, they're looking to attack the rim a lot more.
And one of the things that you will see is they're still top 4 in the state in three-point percentage. The reason why is because they drive it and they're able to get three-point shots off of those drives. That's the key of driving the basketball. You want to be able to have good shooters outside to be able to give wide open shots, and that's led to the success of this Moorpark Raider offense.
The Raiders giving no time to their opponent to even breathe, racing up the court. Ayala's got it now. Give to Calhoun. She puts up a floater and gets the shooter's touch. 22-11 now.
Oxnard's still sticking in there, though. They just need to be able to get something going on offense, because right now the pressure from Moorpark is getting to them with another steal.
And a quick foul given by Crystal LaCava there. The result of the steal by Ayala. Now Carrasco takes it up the court, manning the point. Speed is the name of the game here. Van Buren, floater again, tough bucket plus a foul.
That was a tough bucket in Van Buren as well. You see that her speed, she's able to get the first step around the defender going towards the baseline, but she's also be able to use her strength and just go straight into the defender. That's what you want to see out of one of your centers, your power forwards. You want to see them go towards the basket, not away, and that's exactly what Van Buren does. She's not afraid to go towards the basket.
Van Buren, one of the leading point getters on this ball club. Team that averages 75.6% from the line will get their first free throws of this one. Little short, rebound, goes over to Prince.
Van Buren on the season, 50% field goal percentage out of her.
Should have been a gimme finger roll, nothing there. Going for the second effort, and McClenahan cleans up the board. Ayala looking to push. Outlet pass, Van Buren, another 2.
See, when you have a dynamic guard set like Brianna Calhoun and Jasmine Carrasco, and then you also have a person down low like Van Buren, just as they had last year as well, it's just pretty incredible what you could be able to put together, because, I mean, if you try to guard outside, Van Buren's wide open. If you guard Van Buren, then outside is wide open. So it's kind of hard to be able to defend that.
Jumper strong, rebound, tough play, gets a foul out of it, does Van Buren. 2 fouls team-wise now for the Condors, 4 for the Raiders with 2:16 left in the quarter. Raiders with all kinds of weapons, tough to guard. Van Buren got the ball now. Carrasco off the screen, gets her on her hip a little strong. Looking for a foul, no call.
See, I'm kind of glad they did not call that a foul, because McClenahan, you need to be able to go strong. She was fading away on that because she just wanted to put up quick. You need to be able to gather yourself and go straight in the defender for that foul to be called. She needs to go up strong next time.
This tight Raider D shut down, retrieved by Bishop, who'll put up a finger roll, tough shot. Got it to go, 26-13 with 1:36 left in the quarter. This fast-paced affair. Calhoun will slow it down. Oh, what a move by Carrasco, and she'll get rewarded with a trip to the line.
Jasmine Carrasco, she is just shifty out there. I mean, we already saw it where the defender was cheating on the screen and she was able to go the opposite direction towards the baseline. Now she's using another screen, and then on this one she's going backdoor. She just has a great vision of the game, and with, I mean, players like Brianna Calhoun and Isabel Ayala, they're able to have the same vision and know exactly where Carrasco is going to go. So that's just a great chemistry dynamic that these girls have out here.
This veteran leadership of the Raiders paying off early, 29-13. In trouble. Active hands again. Will almost got the turnover. Retrieved by the Condors. Put up a little roller. No. Rebound. Prince. Harassed. 2 men. And who is it off of? It's off of Oxnard. Will go the other way again.
See, even though it's Moore Park ball, Kenny is not going to like that last set, Kenny Plummer, because after they went for the steal, McClanahan did not step towards the defender. She was late, but then also didn't get the rebound, didn't put a body on out there. That was Robin Prince that was able to get the rebound. You need to be able to get a body, and also other defenders need the help too, and they did not get the proper help to be able to have an effective defensive set.
Ball got poked away, tipped out. It will remain with the Raiders with 47.6 left in the quarter. Both teams with 4 fouls, 29-13. Raiders have the edge. Give to Van Buren inside. Tough little runner. Good to go again. And they are attacking the bucket inside. I don't think we've seen a 3 go down yet today from the Raiders. On the Oxnard side, they did have 1. 32 seconds. A jumper, strong. Nothing going for the Condors at the moment. They go the other way. Calhoun. Inside again. Tough shot. Got the finger roll to go.
That's just ridiculous because it seems like this team from Moore Park is just so well conditioned as well, because the entire game they're just running up and down the court, no matter on offense or defense. It's just they're pushing the ball. They're making sure that they go as fast as possible, and you're seeing it out there tonight.
Got to put it up. Prince tried to bank it in. No. And we'll go to the second quarter with a 20-point edge for the Raiders, 33-13. The Condors looking for answers right now. Where do they go for those answers, Ryan?
So if you're Oxnard, you need to make sure that you get a nice offensive set going. You need to make sure you're running plays for Robin Prince. Robin Prince is your leading points getter, as well as your guard. Your guard is just one of your best players, at least on Oxnard's team. Jasmine Wright is able to get 16.3 points per game as well. You need to be able to set plays for them. You need to be able to set screens. You need to be able to get them open. You need to be able to get them on a good matchup as well. And they're just not doing that. It seems like they're just running motion style offense outside and just trying to get something off of that. That is not going to work. You cannot have isolation ball and motion offense. You need to be able to set plays for one of your athletes to be able to get open, and those two are the ones that they should be looking for to get open, and right now they're not.
So as we start the second quarter, 33-13 our score once again. 10 minutes to play before the half. We'll see if Oxnard can make a run, as they will get the ball and have possession. Beautiful move up the court. Open jumper, short. Rebound to Moore Park. As they race up the court, try to get 2 more. Calhoun gets the offensive board. Nichols tried to put it down, couldn't get it to go. Other way we go, up court. And a bad pass got tipped away by Isabel and will stay with Oxnard.
And you got to be really happy with how Nichols went up with that ball as well. Just a little nice hook shot. And for Oxnard, that last possession, driving into the hole and then also kicking out a shooter, can't ask for more.
Carrasco, easy 2 off the turnover. 35-13, 22-point edge. This swarming D absolutely pestering these Condors.
Bring out the thesaurus, I see, Justin, early on in this contest.
Another turnover and a foul. And if it is in the open court, we'll see what they do about it. But the moment, it appears to just be a common foul. First team foul of the corner.
And see, what I was talking about with that Oxnard offensive possession, when they drove the ball and kicked it out to a shooter, you can ask for a better possession. That was a great job. Moore Park did not switch well on defense, and you had a wide open shot. You just got to knock them down. That's the type of stuff you need to run, as well as plays for your star players.
And there you go, 2 more to Nichols, as there's a couple more subs into this game now with this edge. Lupita Rocha is also in. Calhoun gives a foul. She thought it was a bit of a flop and disagrees, but will pick up her first and the first team foul of the quarter for the Raiders.
I do see where Calhoun's coming from as she did body up the offensive player, so it probably should have been called a foul, but a little bit of acting portrayal as well, falling down. Not enough for an Oscar, but you know, enough to be able to get the foul drawn. I think all of those basketball players have been in that position before, though.
I can't relate as there's a foul and a bucket to boot. Or, yes, 37-15 with a three-point opportunity on the way for Jasmine Wright.
Yeah, that was a great job by Jasmine Wright. She went right up against Calhoun and was able to drive it right past her and be able to lay it up. That's what you want to do, attacking from one of your star players.
Calhoun sprinting up the court. Easy pass. Two more. 39-15 now. 8:20 to go left in the quarter. And Oxnard needs to get something moving before this game slips away.
And that was just a great pass by Calhoun. It shows her unselfishness to be able to find the right player. Double teamed in the paint, able to find Nichols down low.
No call. Racing is Ayala. She'll get one and go for two more at the line. And I think Oxnard's game plan is to try and get the officials to blow a couple of whistles here. And they are not currently obliging.
Yeah, that's one thing you don't want to do. You want to obviously drive and be able to get fouls called against the other team, but you don't want to be able to put the game in the ref's decision. You want to be able to get those plays ran for your star players, and right now they're not doing that. They're not getting Jasmine right into it. They're not getting Robin
because
Prince.
they are undersized, so they are trying to get the subs in if they get the starters in foul trouble.
That's possibly a reason as well. And you always want to drive. You always want to get fouls called against. But you want to be able to have backup. You want to be able to have a good three-point shooter out there to be able to kick it to, whatever have you, and be able to find someone open.
Offensive board off a free throw, and that's going to drive Oxnard nuts. But the shot doesn't go. Driving, jumper, that'll fall for Crystal Lacaba.
And you are right, though, that would drive a coach nuts because rebounding, it's all about effort, it's all about heart. Dennis Rodman, one of the greatest rebounders of all time in the NBA, was only 6'7" listed, but Michael Jordan said that he was actually smaller than him, and Michael Jordan's listed as 6'6". It's all about heart, it's all about your physicality that you're going to be doing, not just about your size, as he went up against big guys, centers, even Shaquille O'Neal at the end of his career. So you got to be able to just have heart, and right now you got to be able to see Oxnard come out with it, and you need to be able to get that board.
Calhoun at the line for two more. Almost got an and one opportunity, but sinks the first. 40-17 with 7:38 to go in the half. Second one falls. And Calhoun will exit after nailing two free throws. As coming in for the Raiders is Estelle Miranda.
Estelle Miranda, she's a 5'4" guard out of Pacifica High School.
And now's the time for the Condors to make a run. A foul will help with that.
And see, one of the reasons why you might not be able to hear it, you might, because Kenny Plummer, head coach of Moore Park College, is pretty loud out on the court, but he was obviously upset by that. You got to move your feet. You got to be able to move your feet, go backwards, not body up the defender. Just body them up enough while having your hands out, and it's not going to be called a foul. That was just lack of concentration.
He's got louder vocal cords than either of us, as there's two more. And 41-19 our score now, 7-10 and ticking.
Robin Prince sticking with it, jumping right when the ball left the rim. That was a great job by her and great awareness to be able to get that bucket.
Board gets a foul. Excuse me, sorry for cutting you off there, right? Has 7 minutes to go. That will, Condors got to get their defensive rebounding game going here. As Rocha will put up a three and be a little strong with it. Prince with the board. They may need to pick up the pace to try and close this gap, and that's exactly what they're doing. As the bucket will fall. for
this
Jasmine Wright.
Yep, and this is exactly what they need to be doing. Jasmine Wright, with Brianna Calhoun sitting, you need to be able to attack. You need to be able to just go straight towards the paint because Calhoun's one of the best defenders on the team, 5.5 steals per game. When she's off the court, Wright needs to be able to have the ball in her hands for this team to be able to come back. You need to be able to run the offense through her because now they have a little bit of lack of guard support out there.
And now the Raiders miss a free throw rebound. Give Oxnard yet another possession, and they may get 4 out of this, and they do. 41-23 our score.
And exactly what I was just saying, attack with the guards because they have a little bit less guard support with one of the best players in the state being out. You need to be able to attack it.
Oh, what footwork by Jasmine. She puts down 2 more, 43-23. 6:19 to go in the half. Can't afford to trade buckets if you're Oxnard. Turnover. Outlet they go. Carrasco on the break. Puts in another bucket. 45-23, and now a little mini run for the Raiders.
One of the things that makes them so dangerous as well, the guards out here for Moore Park, specifically like Carrasco, not only does she have great hands, but she's also quick. She got to the basket before anybody else could.
Nice bucket there by Alyssa Aranda, one of the leading point getters in this game. Rocha at the point now. 45-25, 20-point advantage. Puts up a 3, way off the mark, will go out of bounds. 5:39, as Rocha will sit after that shot, and I'm sure Coach Plummer is not thrilled with that shot selection.
And probably, yeah, the shot selection, but also just rushing it as well. You don't need that shot. Your offensive scheme has been going inside, and that's been working for you, so don't go away from it. And they kind of did. It was an open shot. I do got to give it to her, but you got to be able to work it around a little bit and get a better shot, especially up by 20.
And that is in the active shooting, so Crystal LaCava will go to the line to shoot 2. Are members of this team here who are trying to bring the Condors back now. Both free throws are good, 45-27. 18-point game. Aranda turns it over, and now a couple of extra possessions for Oxnard. 5:21 and a half.
They need to take advantage of these possessions, though. Drive it to the hole.
3, way off. Rebound, Carrasco.
And one of the reasons why it was way off, it was a rush shot. They did not need that shot. It was so early in the possession.
Miranda thought about it, didn't get it up. Now it's Van Buren who puts up the finger roll a little strong. Rebound Nichols, she puts in 2 more. 20-point game again, 4:50 to go. Now Prince can't get that one to fall. Nichols the rebound.
And we're kind of seeing the theme, a lot of rush shots out of them because Prince didn't have her feet set before she shot that basketball, that 3-pointer. You need to be able to run the offense through her, but get good shots. Make sure that she's able to get wide open shots, not just tossing up these 3-pointers that are probably never going to fall.
And a little rush there, which resulted in a turnover. Ayala and Calhoun back in the game now. And now more size for the Raiders as they have Nichols, McClenahan, and also Van Buren in the backcourt.
The sophomores getting a lot of playing time tonight. Definitely good to see as this is going to be their last regular season game playing.
They will play in the playoffs. Important to note there will be a playoff run.
Exactly, last regular season game they're going to be playing, so definitely good to see them out here.
Nice off the glass move by Natalie Maldonado for 2. 47-29. Ayala, kick, almost turned over. Calhoun saves it. What a dish! Oh, what an assist that was. Wow, and Nichols puts in 2 more.
That was a beautiful pass by Calhoun.
That was sweet.
Yes, and she's done that a couple times tonight, being in the paint, also finding the open person just a little bit closer to the rim than her, and just fantastic vision she has on the court.
3, and that one will fall. The second one of the game for Crystal LaCava there. 49-32. 3:30 to go, and now the Raiders will certainly slow it down, and rightfully so. Up by 17. Kick. Ayala, she'll put up the three, way off the mark, air ball. Rebound. Outlet. Blocked! Oh! Calhoun not in her house.
And one of the ways that Calhoun is just great on the defensive side is if you were following her throughout the play as we were, there was a good outlet pass directly to Oxnard, and that was to Diamond Bishop. She was going for an easy layup, and Calhoun basically ran the entire court. By the time she got the ball and was able to go in for the block, her speed, her awareness is key to her success. Another
Calhoun,
great pass.
To Nichols. Two more down, and luckily my voice didn't crack on that block. Usually when I'm surprised like that, you never know. But 51-32 our score, 2:45 to go in the half.
Yeah, it's been cracking more than an asphalt.
Not that bad.
On the streets that
Not that bad.
was last laid like 50 years ago. No, you're good, Justin.
34, a block swatted away. Controlled, Van Buren, 2:27 to go. Ayala the other corner, jumper, strong. Rebound to Bishop, and a quick timeout called by head coach Ron McClurkin, who also coaches the men's team, which you will see a little bit later on tonight as part of our coverage here.
Yes, you were mentioning the men's game is actually going to be the Moore Park Raiders and the Santa Barbara City College Vaqueros, who are going to be playing up against each other at 7 p.m. to be able to close out the season.
That's true. I should have clarified that, but it is, in terms of Oxnard,
Yep.
Clerkin does coach both squads.
Yeah, and you see him. He's basically been the coach forever. It seems like he's always had some pretty good squads out there. But, I mean, it's always difficult when you have the Western State Conference because either it's being dominated by Ventura College in women's basketball for 27 years, or it's being dominated here by Moore Park College. That seems like they're just going to be going on a run for years to come if they keep Kenny Plummer as the head coach.
Well, and they also do need to continue recruiting in some ways. As we speak about the sophomores here today, there will be a high turnover rate the following year. Up the court they go. Oxnard with control. Bishop. Little jumper. Roll is good for Alyssa Aranda.
And Aranda, that was a great shot because she was able to find the opening in the defense. She took her time, was able to just knock it down. Great job by her.
And Bree just puts up another two. Casually, 53-36, 1:50 to go. A current 17-point advantage. Tough attack, no call. McClenahan the board, over to Carrasco. They push. Van Buren, outlet for two.
See, when I was talking about the speed of these athletes, you even see that Britt Van Buren is even outrunning the entire Condors team. So when you have one of your taller athletes, one of your center/power forwards running that quick down the court, I mean, it's going to be almost unstoppable.
Three, strong. Carrasco the board, and they are still not letting up. Pushing up the court. Relentless, two more. There's no stopping this machine now. 21-point game with 58 seconds left in the half.
And Moore Park kind of going an old school type of style as they actually have their centers posting up. They have pick and roll action. They're trying to get those easy shots, and it's working for them.
McClenahan with a block. She joins the party.
I'd like to remind all the instructors to come down to the scorer's table at the time. Thank you.
57-36, 45 seconds before the half. A lot of family members and relatives here today as it is sophomore night as Carrasco off the turnover. Nichols, another bucket. My goodness, they are just pouring it on.
And, I mean, it doesn't even matter who's the center out there. It's just these athletes are just able to get it to them, continue to feed. And, I mean, I'm not trying to discredit the centers because they're also great players. They're able to catch the ball and able to lay it in effectively. But
and their utilization is also more than just scoring. I mean, they've been able to set the screens today as well. Blocked and a foul. And Carrasco doesn't like it, but it is the call. 13.4 to go, 59-36. She thought she had a clean steal.
And that's usually going to happen anytime that you see a swipe down. Any kind of swipes down that you see when somebody's going up for a shot, it's usually called a foul, whether it's is or not. And obviously the ref might have a better angle than we do over here, but it did look like all ball.
Important to note, our broadcast position is also courtside here. We're sitting directly behind the Moore Park fans.
Yeah, we have a nice view. We're right at
half court.
Yep, half court. Have the score table in front of us. Have the action directly ahead.
13 seconds to go. Moore Park will hold for the final shot of the half. Looking for a screen. Give to Carrasco instead. She'll drive. Players are falling down. Now we get a runner. That's a little strong, and that'll end the half. 59-37 as we go to break, a 22-point advantage.
And see, one of the things that I would have liked to see out of Carrasco, instead of shooting that shot, she had Nichols. She had to be able to dish it to her a little bit over the shoulder, be able to lay it in. They had just enough time to be able to do that, but still a pretty good shot out of Carrasco.
Well, that is where things stand at the moment. 59-37 our score. We will be back with second half action in about 20 minutes from now. Stay with us, everybody. And welcome back, everybody, as we get set for the start of this second half. 59 to 37 our score. And Ryan, are you, as we get back here, Ryan, what are some of the things you saw in that first half, and what are some of the adjustments that maybe both teams need to make here?
Yeah, so basically Oxnard, the adjustment that they need to make is they need to be able to stay on these guards. The guards is what really drives the offense, and when they're driving to the hole and they're kicking out just shooters, or the centers are getting behind the last line of defense, which you've seen many times, they need to stop that. They need to make sure they go man-to-man, just one-on-one, or they need to make sure that they go into zone defense because they're caring too much about the ball handler. You got to care about the ball handler, but the way that the Raiders play is they give it away quickly and they find the open person. So man-to-man, one-on-one, or you go into zone for a more part. You got to be able to do so much of the same, but also don't get to the point where you're lazy on offense, because we've seen that in this game already too, where they had such a big lead where they started getting a little lazy with the ball and started turning it over. Make sure that you know you're going to the playoffs pretty soon and you're the #1 team. You got to live up to that every single time you get on the court.
Quick steal, Van Buren up the court. And no, rebound Calhoun. She tries it and gets the follow to go. 61-37 off the turnover immediately, and head coach McClurkin will not like that to come out and start this one.
And Calhoun was showing off a little bit of her athleticism with getting that rebound put back as well.
Foul on the floor, no shot, won't count there. 24-point advantage for the Raiders. 61-37, looking for their 17th victory in a row, and a 25-1 record overall. Currently, they are 24-1. They're looking for a 25-1 record. Oxnard looking to make a push. Driving, tough jumper, goes in between two defenders. What a tough shot that was by Crystal LaCava, one of the leading scorers today.
And so you can't rely on shots like that to go down. You need to be able to have a better offensive scheme, getting it inside, not just relying on those shots. I mean, you do need to shoot it, but there was still about 5 seconds left on the shot clock. You could have made another move and got around the center.
And a whistle, and that will allow Jasmine Nichols to come in. And Ayala will step to the scorer's table. She will be checking in momentarily. Not quite sure what that whistle was for, other than a substitution.
Yeah, there was an off-ball foul that they called against Oxnard.
Oh, what a crossover. Oh! That was pretty cool as Calhoun puts in two more, 63-39.
That's one of those top 10 type plays where everybody's reacting. You see a little ankle breaker action, and if you didn't hear reaction from the crowd, that's because Calhoun does it like twice a game, 3 times a game, 4 times a game, whatever you want to call it. She's just always doing it.
Air ball. Go the other way. Whoa. That was one of the cooler plays I've seen in a while. 63-39 our score, 8:23 to go.
One thing that was pretty cool that they did, which was the first week that they did this first game that Moore Park did, that they're going to try to make it a tradition for women's basketball. They were acknowledging some of the faculty members that have helped them throughout the season and throughout their career, which was great. Guys like Tommy Ariano, Remy McCarthy, who's a coach here. Tommy Ariano is the equipment manager. Other instructors around the college, too, just being noticed for what they do for the college and for these athletes themselves. Definitely great to see that at halftime.
Inside, McClenahan turned over. Foul, open court, the other way we go. Cheap one there given by Calhoun. 63-39 our score, 8:03 to go. 2 fouls for the Raiders as Calhoun will sit down. It's her third personal, and that could be a storyline as we move through this second half.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see the availability after having so many fouls. Obviously, not enough to maybe worry about it so much being in the third quarter, but still, you got to know your number, and you got to know if there's one more, you're probably going to sit for a couple minutes.
Both teams with a short bench. That one is blocked. Staying with it are the Condors. 3. Way off the mark, had to put it up. The shot clock was going down. Didn't hit the rim. And Jules Martinez misses it.
One thing on the block by McClanahan, I'm kind of surprised they didn't call it as foul. It was a clean block, but one of the things you usually see is when you come down with the hands, they usually call it a foul, and they were consistently doing it throughout this game of the season, and they did not call that one, so just a little surprised that was not a foul.
Turned over in traffic. Prince takes it up the court and swatted away by Nichols. And the defensive intensity has not dropped as this second half has started. 7:16 in the third quarter, 63-39 our score.
The reason why that last block was an easy block for Nichols to be able to get to was because that's almost like a quarterback telegraphing the pass. You knew exactly what hand she was going up with. I mean, I even knew when I was here at the table calling the game, so you got to be able to disguise it a little better.
Ayala sprinting, put up, no. Affected by Oxnard. Affected by Martinez there, and they will get rewarded with possession. 3, open, strong. Carrasco the board. Other way they go, they don't have numbers. And that's why Carrasco will slow it down and put up a 3, strong. She has the green light. Can put it up at any time she wants, 6:32 to go. Fake, jumper, short, offside iron, rebound. Raiders, Carrasco going up the court again. Give to Van Buren, beautiful pass. Double team inside, no foul call, and turned over.
I would have liked to see Van Buren do a little fake on the left side, do a reverse layup on the right side, just step through. She could have had an easy layup right there, but did not keep the ball high. If you're taller, keep the ball high and keep it strong.
Oxnard out of control, the possession, and it does not fall. The rim unkind for Van Buren there. And Oxnard will call a timeout and slow things down again. 5:50 to go. We're almost at the halfway point of this quarter. 63-39. The score has not changed in about 3.5 minutes.
I saw head coach Kenny Plummer's face from Moore Park College after Van Buren didn't go up for that layup and knock it down. She's got to go up strong, and she has to not get razzled by it. She has to be able to go up. She has to be concise with it, and she needs to be able to just lay it up like usual. It seems like it got in her head a little too much, and she wasn't able to get it. She needs to just take this like every single layup that she's done in the past, and she did not do it right there. That's probably what Kenny Plummer is going to be talking to her about a little bit, just staying in the moment and lay it up just like usual.
So with this timeout, the score sits at a 24-point edge still for the Raiders, looking to improve to 25-1 and a 17-game winning streak to boot. Cherry on top of the sundae there. Oxnard trying to make a comeback and improve to 8-13 on the season. 5:50 to go in this quarter. As there will be 2 on the ball. Off the inbound, clean. Oxnard with possession. Give over. Somebody's looking for a screen. Give to Prince. Fake. 3. Front rim and off. Carrasco the other way. Calhoun does not have numbers. Pushes anyway. Almost turns it over. Shows off the sick handles, but throws it out of bounds.
One of the assistant coaches almost put up a shot from way downtown, but going back
Could have made it too.
Yeah, hey, that would have been pretty amazing. But if you're Oxnard, you need to be able to take advantage of all those open shots. That last three-pointer, that one, you need to be able to focus on that shot because you're not going to get too many chances like that.
Diamond has got it now. Shot is good, 63-41. Calhoun. No, jumper by Rocha. Got it! There's a 3. That's one of the few we've seen, maybe the first to go down today, 66-41.
And that's a good point. We haven't really seen too many.
Stolen away, and Calhoun will put up 2 more. My goodness, there is no let up in this ball club. Another turnover. 2 more goes down. In front of the men's team, who is making their way to the locker room at the moment, preparing for their game.
And see, this is what I meant, just relentlessness. You got to keep the motor on if you're Moore Park. You got to treat this like a playoff atmosphere of scoring as many points as possible and being as great as possible.
Carrasco off the sweet dish, puts up 3 more. Why not? My goodness, what a run by the Raiders. It's 10-0 run there. My goodness, it's showtime here in Raider Pavilion.
That was an incredible pass by Calhoun.
Oh.
I mean, look at the chemistry that they had. I don't know if you saw this, but Calhoun, she was dribbling the ball. She was still in the backcourt, and Carrasco was already behind her. She looked at her, and she got behind her right away. Calhoun, there was nothing stopping her from going to the three-point line, putting it between her legs, leaving it for Carrasco to be able to step right into a wide-open three-pointer. Just to be able to do that play, you need to have chemistry, and these two, this dynamic duo, is just on a whole new level.
Oh my goodness. Well, it's well documented, the relationship between the two of them. They are very, very close friends. 2 star guards on this squad, but really the entire team, and it starts from the top with Coach Plummer. The culture shift that he's created for this squad has put them at the 24-1 mark. With 3:52 to go in the quarter, 73-41 our score. Tough, tight D, turned over again. This time it's Nichols, over to Calhoun, and it will not stop. Okay, well now it's 75-41. Nearly turned over again. This relentless defense. And that tough shot goes, and seems the only way they can buy a bucket right now is by that variety, is instead of racing up the court and missing the shot as Nichols, she thought she got hit, no call. Turned over. 2 more. And I think Oxnard is out of sorts right now, to say the least.
And all the success of the Raiders are getting, they're having great anticipation because right now, you see Oxnard, the whole entire time, they're telegraphing all their passes. Everybody knows where it's going. If you play the game of basketball, you know exactly where they're going. When they were driving in and when Nichols was able to step up and they were trying to pass it out of the corner, that was obvious that they were going to pass it out there. And that's exactly what Moore Park knew. They know basketball, they know the game, they know how it flows, and they're easily just picking off these passes.
The Raiders able to close the gap in the lane, turned over, telegraph pass, looking for Carrasco. She gets the ball back, puts up the free throw line jumper for 2. This is unreal. The relentless speed, the intensity, the focus of this ball club is off the charts. 79-43.
I want to tell you the mistake that Oxnard's doing right now. They're trying to play Moore Park style of game. Moore Park is having fast pace. They're just getting down the court. They're finding the open player, and Oxnard's trying to just run up the court just as fast as they can, and they're turning the ball over each and every time.
Well, Ryan, I would argue that they are in a position where that's all they can do, because with the scoring margin where it's at 79-43, they don't have as many possessions as one might think to get back into this game. So they're going to have to push the pace to close the gap much faster than they may want to.
There's a difference between pushing the pace, though, and just running like a chicken with their head cut off, it seems like.
3.
Because
Rebound off the mark.
And right now what they're doing, see, going fast, they don't need that. Slow it down, do a half-court set, shoot the ball within 15 seconds of what the shot clock was. See, they're just trying to do quick action. They don't need that. They could go for a slow set and be able to get something to go that's easy for them instead of playing Moore Park style of offense.
Calhoun's moving it up now. Nichols again for 2 more. My goodness. The relentless footwork, the training, the agility.
See, this is exactly what they should be doing. They're walking the dog up the court and slowing it down just enough to be able to have an offensive set. That is not what we saw out of the past probably about 10 possessions out of Oxnard.
Oxnard trying to find an answer. No shot there, no call. They're all over the place. Calhoun again. There's no let up. There's no stopping the scoring. It is now a 30-point advantage.
How bad do you think they won triple digits tonight? Because it seems like that's what they're wanting.
I don't know if that was their intention at the beginning of the quarter, but by now, it is very plausible, folks, that they will get there. 83-43. It is nearly a 30-point advantage now. And the interesting thing is there is no let up in these Raiders.
Well, something that's very interesting that we're seeing right now out of these athletes, out of the Raiders, is in the first half, they were fast-paced, and they were moving the ball down the court. But it seems like in this third quarter, the second half of the third quarter, they turned it to another level. It wasn't the usual fast pace that we've seen out of the Raiders. It was an ultra speed that we've seen. And if you're Oxnard, trust me, you just need to do a half-court set, go in offense, get an open shot, run a play for one of your players, and then knock it down, and your confidence is going to be brewing. If you're running the ball up the court as fast as the Raiders are going to do, you're never going to catch up because that's not your style of game. You need to play your style of game. That's the only way you're getting back.
Tough shot again. That was out of control. Goes off the rim. And again, pushing the pace. This is Rocha. Excuse me. It is Miranda with the foul. Miranda, correction there. She will go to the line to shoot 2 more. And I am not sure what the conversation may have been on the bench for the Raiders. They did not go to the locker room due to the celebration of the faculty that we saw at halftime. But I wonder if there was just a couple of words exchanged to ignite this pace, this blitzing speed. As both free throws are off the mark, but a weak side board for Calhoun. She kicks to Carrasco.
Let me tell you, she was trying to sauce up the defender right there.
Tried the roll, no. Gets her own miss, no. Third chance. Goes to kick out. Ayala for 3 off the front of the rim. Tapped out. 4th chance. 3 again. Carrasco, no. And now Oxnard will control but turn it over immediately. Back to Calhoun. And the 2, oh my word.
A beautiful pass right there, dumping it in straight into the spot that she needed to go. A little bounce pass. I mean, she's using all of her passes.
Like a cheetah in the jungle, awaiting her prey, she was able to pounce immediately with that pass as that shot is off the mark.
Visiting some zoos these days, I see, Justin.
Do have a zoo project coming up for a particular course. That might have been where my mind was going. With 7.7 to shoot for the final shot of the quarter, it will be Rocha over to Ayala. She'll put up a 3, nail it, and that is indicative of what we've seen tonight. 88-43 as we go to the 4th.
This is just ridiculous, some of the shots that these women are making out here. I mean, 88-43, they've doubled the score, plus added another 2 points off of the double, because 43 times 2, you already got 86 points. So, I mean, we're not math majors out here, ladies and gentlemen, but we can be able to see that they're almost double their score plus 2.
I did that pretty easy.
I think I did too. I came up with that. Come
on,
Justin.
Now. Anyway, 88-43. Wow, this has been an onslaught by the Raiders, to say the least. It is up over 40 now, the margin, with 10 more minutes to play. Because both teams don't necessarily have a large bench, are we going to see the majority of the sophomores play out this final quarter, given that it's sophomore night?
I think what's going to come down is you're going to have these players, they're star players like a Jazzy Crosco, a Brianna Calhoun.
Maybe
I think
Van Buren as well.
Yeah, Van Buren as well. What you're going to see out of those 3 players, because that's kind of been the main contributors out of the team. Obviously, everybody from the team has been able to get to this point, but those 3 athletes, they're probably going to get sat on the bench after maybe, let's say, about 2 minutes left in the game, get a little standing ovation with their last home game regular season. They're obviously going to host a playoff game, but that's probably what they're going to do. They're going to sit them for the last part of the game, but they're at least going to play in the 4th quarter, I would assume so.
Jasmine Wright now in. She puts up a tough runner, no. McClenahan the board. Over to Ayala. She's being harassed. Pressure backed off. Over to Rocha. She'll put up a 3. Hello! How do you do? It is 91-43.
My, oh my, sweet cherry pie. They're raining in from deep now.
Oh,
See,
my goodness.
That's one thing that you get out of driving the ball. You get those wide open shots because now they're focused on the drive. They're focused on the paint. You got wide open 3s everywhere for the Raiders now.
Almost as if it's target practice at this point. As another turnover will give 2 more this time. It's Miranda in on the party. 93-43, and we're going to hit 100 before this quarter's over.
50-point lead, ladies and gentlemen. It's just ridiculous out here from what the Raiders are putting together these past 2 seasons.
Another steal, denied the passing lane. That's Van Buren now. She'll take it up the court. McClenahan help, yes. Another 2.
And
This time to the center.
Yep, the center, McClenahan, and one of the things that you saw out of her, she went up with it strong. That's what you want to see, 2 hands going up with it at first.
Oh my goodness, a block on the perimeter. Will it be a backcourt violation? No, got tipped. Somehow Ayala came away with it and puts another 2 in. And at what point do you let up if you're the Raiders? Is there a let up? Is there a let down? Is there, I don't want to say this in a negative way, a matter of respect in terms of the scoring margin?
Well, first of all, Jasmine Gomez, number 10 of Oxnard, she was running towards the ball. Sometimes it's speed, but sometimes it's also heart. Both of the Raiders diving towards the ball, Ayala able to get to it. Sometimes they just wanted a little bit more, but basically I just say if you're the Raiders, just continue to put on the gas pedal. I mean, there could be a little bit of respect probably towards the end of the game, but this is just about getting your team ready for the playoffs. This is not disrespectful putting the score up. This is just getting all your players ready for playoff basketball.
4 points. Rocha for 3.
That gives them 100.
And now we've reached the century mark, 100 to 45, 55-point advantage. If my math is right, which I believe it is.
It is. I know we're not math majors, but they're
no
pretty
disrespect
easy.
to the math majors in this world, for sure.
No, we're definitely saying you could have figured this out probably in
We're
half a
complimenting
second.
you, yes.
Yep.
Complimenting them for their efforts in the numbers field.
Yes. We'll do numbers as statistics as coming up with all those numbers for these athletes, but yeah, sometimes.
Again, folks, as we finish this one, stay tuned for another separate broadcast of your men's basketball team following this one at 7 o'clock against Santa Barbara City College. 7:15 left in the quarter. Calhoun will go to the line. She tried for another 3-point play, but instead will be rewarded with free throws.
And see, one of the most difficult parts of defending this team is they're top 5 in California in free throws, field goal, and 3-point percentage. All of them.
Misses the first. At this point, a miss is not that paramount.
That might have been a little bit of an announcer's curse after I said that she missed it.
But the second one falls, and we are over the century mark, 101 to 45. Screen, knifing, no, out of control in traffic. Rebound taken by Van Buren, given to Calhoun. Calhoun up the court. Calhoun stops. Looking for help. Give to Carrasco. Thought about a 3. No. Over to Nichols in the post. Passing at a premium now. 3 ball. Yes. On the line. Her foot was on the line. They will mark it as a 2. 103 to 45. 6:32 to go left in this game.
See, that last possession by Oxnard with Jasmine Wright driving to the cup, that's what you want to see. That was one of the best possessions that they had, a nice spin move, able to get it to go. They had a screen on the play. They were able to pass the ball a couple times. That's what they need to focus on. Take this time as practice towards further games in the future. If some of these athletes are going on to the next level, use this. Use this as your film. Use this as time to be able to work. Use this as the returning players to be able to go up against the best team in California to be able to work on all your skills.
It also gives Plummer, if he chooses to get his freshman subs in, a look at what he might be able to use for next season in terms of skill set as well. That one doesn't go. Calhoun again up the court. No. Miranda to Carrasco. Over in the corner, Van Buren fakes, drives through 2 defenders, gets fouled, and will go to the line.
See, the difference between court vision that we've seen out of Brandon Calhoun and Jasmine Carrasco compared to maybe Jasmine Nichols is if Jasmine Nichols got the ball, she could have been able to do a hop step, caught the ball. She had Jasmine Carrasco that would have darted directly towards the basket, and she could have just dished it to her for a wide open layup. So seeing the court, seeing where your athletes are, that's very important because they could add a wide open layup off the play.
So 2 more go down, 105-45 your score. Have we hit 60 on the margin now? Yes, we have. 6:02, 3 ball. Side rim and off. 3, relentless for 2, beautiful dish.
I mean, you can't serve it up better than that dish. It was directly to her main woman out there, just able to lay it up easily. I mean, great passing we've seen out of this Raiders team.
The precision vision there.
Precision vision, I like it.
Calhoun again gets the roll. She is unstoppable right now.
And that is a veteran move, going on the left side of the hoop, seeing the defender coming and making sure that you go up on the opposite side to be able to protect the basketball by the rim. That was just a great job by Calhoun, knowing where the defender was and making the nice play to knock down the layup.
Oxnard can't buy a bucket. Nearly turned over off the outlet, controlled. Van Buren over to Carrasco, back to 3 is off the mark by Miranda, and it will go the other way.
I mean, this is literally a 64-point lead we're seeing out here, ladies and gentlemen.
And they're still sprinting, which is phenomenal with the conditioning.
Yes, conditioning is just incredible by the team.
And easy 2 there from Van Buren off the steal. And it's academic. It was academic really at the end of the 3rd quarter, but we've reached a point now where this game is out of reach.
I mean, if this goes more out of reach and we're going to have to figure out the scores, we may become math majors by the end of this of doing the addition and subtraction out of here.
111 minus 47. It just so happens I have a calculator standing by.
64.
Thank you. Just choose to embarrass my math skills if I don't. No, I'm kidding. You're not. But still, 111 to 47, 4:29 left in this game. Having a little bit of fun with my broadcast partner here. We enjoy bringing this one to you. Final game of the regular season for the Moore Park Raiders, and I believe equally for the Oxnard Condors.
Yes, this will be the final game of the season out here. Sophomore night for women's basketball will also be the final game of the season for men's basketball. The next game, great pass right there.
Oh my goodness, Calhoun, 2 more. And at this point, it's about adding to the stat line. 113 to 48.
The vision, the backdoor cuts, just incredible to be able to see where the defender is and knowing that the vision is not there.
Short air ball the other way. That was shot off. Bishop's hand didn't go down.
The great thing that Moore Park's still doing, Kenny Plummer, head coach, is still trying to run plays out here, even up by 65 points, still trying to get post-ups, still trying to coach the team. That's the sign of a great team, where they're not getting their head out of the game, and they're making sure that they practice everything with all their athletes.
Oh, beautiful pass. 2 more. Outlet to Rocha there, and she puts in the bucket. 115 to 48. I will now leave the math to Ryan.
Yeah,
He's a lot quicker at it than I am. Turn back over. 2 there for Bishop. 115 to 50. McClenahan retrieves. Oh!
Incredible.
What a sick dish that was.
Incredible give and go
Wow.
action.
That was almost a touch pass.
And that was a great vision by McClenahan as well, to be able to see exactly where Calhoun was going to be. And that's also great
Tough
communication.
floater
chemistry.
there by LaCava. 117 to 52. Calhoun kick. Ayala the 3. Strong. McClenahan the board. Kick out to Calhoun. She'll be able to set her feet and put one up a little strong. Rebound to Maldonado. Stolen away again. And at this point, Calhoun might have a double-double. That is.
She 100% has double-double. I think she
word.
might even have a triple-double with steals with it.
There's no let-up. I don't even, The amount of Gatorade they must have over there. I mean, the amount of sprinting both teams have done today.
I just want to do a little quick shout out. I mentioned about 2 minutes left in the game. Brianna Calhoun, Brett Van Buren, and Jasmine Krosko was going to get pulled out of the game. It's 2:30 left, and they just got pulled. So pretty good insight right there.
Insight right there. Whether they get
foreshadowing, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
That I had.
I guess that's why we do this for a living.
True, true.
2:17 to go. 119 to 54 our score. Kick. Rocha tried to put it up. No. Other way by Nichols. No. They go the other way. Oxnard gets a couple. 119 to 56. 154. And everybody's yelling to shoot, but no shot taken. Instead, it's Ayala. Rebound. And at this point, the only thing you're trying to play against really is injury for both teams with 1:41 to go.
Yes, that is very important. You got to make sure there's no injuries on the team. You do not want to deal with that.
Ayala cuts through the lane and almost got the shot to go. Off the front of the rim.
And just a quick side note, this is the most points Moorpark College has scored in a single game this season. The second most was 110 points against Imperial Valley, as well as 110 points at Oxnard College. So they've already put up 110 at Oxnard in their previous game, now 119 against them.
The two games I had covered a few weeks ago, as that one falls, the men's team had scored over 100 in their home contest. 120 to 101 the final, as Ayala puts up a jumper, a little strong.
And this might be a little nod at the men's team trying to get over their 120 points, trying to be the superior basketball team
There's
here.
Always motivation somewhere, no matter the score. Rocha, up court, looking for a call. No, Strong. 41 seconds. And it appears the women's team will slow it down. This will be their final shot of their regular season. McClanahan, Nichols. There it is, and they have matched and beaten the men's score of 2 weeks ago, 121 points.
The 63-point lead right now for the Raiders.
This might be the biggest scoring margin I've ever seen. 10 seconds. And they are still playing tight defense. Again, no call. And that'll be that. The Raiders win their final regular season contest. 121 to 58. They improve to 25-1 on the regular season finale with a 17-game winning streak heading into the playoffs, as Oxnard will drop to 7-14 on the season and 1-7 in conference play. And Ryan, as we wrap this one up, what are your final thoughts on this game?
Final thoughts is I'm very, I'm not surprised at all, but just with the amount of scoring that Moorpark put up is just incredible. But what you saw out there was Moorpark didn't let anything stop them, and they just continued on to put up the score, and they are getting themselves very much so ready for the playoffs. They lost in the championship game of the state playoffs last year, so they do not want to do the same thing. They want to get to the same spot, but be able to get the victory. And I mean, right now it's looking like they're just riding towards that state championship.
So that'll do it for this one. We thank you for joining us here on the Moorpark Raider live stream. Many thanks also go to Michael Grimes and our entire production team for bringing this one to you. We will see you in about 25 minutes for a separate broadcast of your men's basketball team as they play Santa Barbara City College. Stay with us, everybody. Thank you very much.